Hello, everyone. I should actually start with the normal signing, shouldn't I? Hello, boys and girls. My name is Carl Ford, Carl Ford Associates, the Captain of Accountancy. Welcome to the show, the Captain's Log, an accountant's guide to the galaxy. And today's show, it is Stardate 221107. And the title of it is Don't Panic, Mr Mainwaring, which is it's a strange one because I thought his name was Mainwaring. It turns out it's Mainwaring. Who knew that? I literally found out that today, despite having watched this for years and years of my childhood growing up. So, today's episode, Don't Panic, Mr. Mainwaring. But the world is on fire, isn't it? There's war kicking off. Inflation is through the roof. Fuel, that's spiraling out of control. Interest rates shooting up. The world is indeed on fire. So surely we should be panicking, should we not? And what else is there to do? Well, there's a few other things that we should do. I've worked a lot on mindset over the years, and I'm a great believer that if you employ the right mindset, you can get the results that you truly desire. That was a bit like Lucifer then, wasn't it? What is it you truly desire? Anyway, I tangent. So the theme is, don't panic, Mr. Mainwaring. How can you avoid the panic? Because let's be honest, it's easy for me to say, don't panic. But the world is going crazy. Like, no matter where you look. As I said, we've got war issues in Ukraine and Russia, inflation. Pretty much every country in the globe has got issues with it. Fuel spiraling out of control again, and then interest rates. These are things, apart from the war, inflation, fuel, and interest. They are things that affect us in our businesses and our day-to-day life, and they can have a massive impact. So how can we avoid the panic? The first one I'm going to say is know your numbers, because we need to get a little bit of certainty in an uncertain world. And I know that sounds very, very cliche, but there's so much that's changing that if you look in the past few months, we've had in the UK multiple changes to what the income tax rates will be, to the corporation tax. These things, tax laws, change typically a maximum of twice a year, maximum. But last 2.5 years, it's been far more frequent. And the last 2 months, it's just been absolutely insane. So how can we have certainty when we don't know what the interest rate will be in 2 months, 3 months? We don't know what inflation will be at. We have no idea about fuel costs. Yes, the residential utility bills have been capped, but we don't know how long that cap could actually stay in place realistically. So how do we get some certainty? The first of all is know exactly what you're spending in your business. Be honest. When was the last time that you did an audit of yourself, of your business, and looked at what you're actually spending your money on? This is something that I was discussing with my business coach this week. And I said, I think if most businesses are honest, they'll say that most of them don't do it. And of those that do it, a small percentage would do it as a regular exercise. Maybe some are doing it now because, they're feeling the pressure that they need to cut back. But will they make wise decisions if they're doing that? Because what they'll probably do is they'll look at, what's a big cost I can reduce? And that might not be the best way to do it, because if we did that in this business, we'd be sacking off our software costs, because they are like, we use Xero as our primary accountancy tool. We'd be sacking off Xero licenses if we were cancelling our big expenditure items. That's not a smart move. The smart move is to look at those small incidental costs that add up, because it might not look great if you're cancelling a £7 subscription, but once you add in multiple subscriptions, actually you start to make a difference. So that's one where you need to know your numbers and have a look at what you're actually spending money on, and be honest with yourself. Do you need to spend the money? Is it a vanity exercise that you're doing? Because I'm sure we've all been there where we've spent money on stuff because it looks good, but do we really need it? That's the questions that we need to be asking now. And do you know what? If we do need it, don't cut it back, because just because there's a cost of living crisis, and I'm using the words of the media here, doesn't mean that we need to cut back. We could always sell more. There's other options rather than cutting back, because the danger in cutting back is that it becomes a race to the bottom. So we cut back on one of our suppliers. So what they have to do is they have to either cut back on their labor, or they have to cut back on one of their suppliers. And it just keeps going and going and going. And we're racing to the bottom. There's other ways. So maybe we could use our advertising wisely and get more customers in to increase cash coming into the business rather than cancelling what's going out. But you can't do any of that without knowing what your numbers are. So that's one thing that I'd like to look at to avoid this panic, is know your numbers. Next, HODL. It's used in crypto quite a lot, and I'm not going to go into crypto right now. No, HODL is hold on for dear life. And maybe that sounds dramatic, and it's not meant to be like that. But maybe right now, rather than panic and cancel lots of expenditure or make any sudden drastic moves, actually, maybe, just maybe, the best course of action is to just HODL. Just stay. Do nothing. So there's the danger here. I nearly didn't say it correctly then. The danger, let's use sailing as a metaphor. This is something that one of my previous mentors, Brad Burton, talked a lot about, is that sometimes people have their anchor down, but their sail up. And all that happens is that they just spin around, and it's tiring. They're going nowhere but fast. So maybe now is the right time for you to drop anchor, steady the ship, but take your sail down, conserve some energy, and just check out what's going on. Don't make any rash decisions. And then once you're in a calm position, raise the anchor, put your sail up, and then move on to a course that you've chosen. And it's crucial that it's what you've chosen. It's your business after all, so take it in the direction you want it to go. Right, next, talk yourself into opportunities. Right now, it's just difficult times. I won't deny that. You know, you can see it, but there's still opportunities out there. So next week, I'm flying out to Milan for a week. I'm going to be delivering a week's corporate training to a pharmaceutical company. And that's great. That's a recent opportunity that happened. However, last week, I got a phone call to say, whilst I was there, would I be able to run another course in the afternoon? We're meant to be in these end of days, panic, panic, panic. Yet that's two very recent opportunities that I've had. And think about this. When there's difficult financial times, things that get cut are advertising and training. I've always thought that that's a faux pas, but that's probably another discussion. The point here is those are two things that traditionally get cancelled when times are tough. Yet here I am flying out to Milan, where my flights are paid for, my hotel's paid for, to deliver 2 training courses in a week. There are opportunities out there. And it'd be easy for me to say, but what if I'm out of the country and something happens to my team? What if something else happens? What if this? What if that? How about we flip it? And what if it works? What if it goes right? What if it goes well? What if I make more money? It's so easy to have the what if it doesn't work mentality. And do you know what the problem is? We get fearful of trying new things. We don't try anything new. We just do what we've always done. And the problem, if you do what you've always done, you get what you've always got. So is that what you want? Because right now, if you continue doing what you've always done and getting what you've always got, you'll end up with less because of what inflation is, pure and simple. So do something different. Start looking for opportunities and then talk yourself into the opportunity. Don't talk yourself out of it. Now is not the time for that. Right, next up, I love this quote. It's from a namesake. Unfortunately, it's not a relative. It's from Henry Ford. And this is, whether you think that you're right or whether you think that you're wrong, you're right. No, that's wrong. I said that wrong. A smart person would edit this. Whether you think that you can or you think that you can't, you're right. That's the way it is. And the reason I got it wrong is my next point. You can change the words in there to fit most things. Whether you think social media is a battlefield or you think it's a gold mine, you're right. Whether you think that life is tough right now or you think life is great right now, you're right. Whether you think that the country that you live in is the worst in the world or you think it's the best in the world, you're right. This is all about your mentality. It's about confirmation bias. So if you think social media is a battlefield, guess what? You will find lots of people on there arguing. If you think that social media is a goldmine for opportunities, guess what? You'll find opportunities on there. I was chatting to a mate of mine, Steve Wade, who's got a fantastic legal business, and he's unfollowed so many people recently because of the negativity. He said, I just don't need that anymore. I want positivity. And isn't that what we should be looking for? We should be looking for those positive aspects. So like we've just talked about with talk yourself into opportunities, do the same with your mindset, that put yourself in a positive frame. Don't expose yourself to negatives. I saw someone on Twitter the other day and they said that the UK is the worst country out of the US and Germany. They're right, because that's how they see it. I don't see it that way. I think I'm in the UK right now. I think it's great being here. Could it be better? Yes, of course it could. But could it be worse? Absolutely. So which way will I look? Will I look at the fact that things are good, or will I look, it's crap? I won't. I will look at the positive side. Next up, we've got the fifth point that I wanted to bring up. And this is about you guys, pretty much. The SMEs are the backbone of the UK economy. And this is something, it's a bugbear of mine, really, that it's often overlooked. It's overlooked how significant SMEs, micro businesses are. They make up the lion's share of the UK economy. But because they're not one of the big boys, they don't get talked about as much. And it frustrates me because we're so important. The SMEs are the heroes of the UK economy. We create the most jobs. We create the most opportunities. So here's the thing. As you can see from my background, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on a podcast device, I've got pictures of superheroes behind me. I've got some like Captain America Marvel figures here. I'm a nerd. I love my superhero stuff. And when you have a superhero movie, you've got the hero, you've got the villain, and then you've got the victim. The victim is picked on by the villain. So then the superhero needs to come and save the day. Now, you need to pick which one of those roles do you want to be in? Do you want to be the victim, where the big bad government keep changing the tax to penalise you, or the big bad bank keep putting interest rates up, or the bloody petrol station keeps putting up the diesel, or the gas companies keep putting up your electric and gas for your house? Do you want to be the victim, or do you want to be the hero? Because let's think this through. It's your business. So this is your movie. This is your story. You can cast yourself in whichever one of those roles you want. I know which one I choose. I want to be the superhero in my business. That's why I started to refer to myself 2 years ago as Captain Accountancy. I'm a big Captain America fan. I've took a lot of inspiration from that. Why shouldn't you do that? This is your business. You choose who you are. And now is the best time. There has never been a better time, because we need the SME businesses to step up. We need you to be the heroes now. We do. Now, I almost said let's circle back around. I hate that phrase. I'll be talking about blue sky thinking next. Right. As a final little point, don't panic, Mr Mainwaring. If you remember back, no one, absolutely no one, was panicking except Lance Corporal Jones. He was running around telling everyone not to panic. Meanwhile, he's in a state of complete and utter panic. That's a big danger that we're in right now. Let's say the media are like Lance Corporal Jones, telling everyone not to panic, except, well, that's not really true, is it? That they are actually telling people to panic. But that rubs off. If someone's telling you not to panic, but they're panicking, it starts to make you uneasy. So, first of all, don't listen. Use your own senses to check what's going on around you. Well, I've lost my train of thought there. Right, Lance Corporal Jones, telling everyone not to panic whilst he's in a state of panic. He's not making wise decisions because he's not thinking clearly. He's not stopping to check what's going on. And that's a big danger right now. If you listen to those voices around you saying the world's going to end, the world is on fire, everything's going to hell in a handbasket, guess what? You will start to panic. That will rub off on you. And then you'll start to make bad decisions. So don't listen to that. Be like the rest of the cast and just don't panic. Because you know what? There's difficult times ahead. Let's not make light of that or deny it. But it's been worse in the past. Yes, it no doubt been better, but it's been worse. And you know what? We got through it. 2007-8, we had the financial crash when everything was going to oblivion. And guess what? We're here now. We had crashes in the 80s, which I don't really remember too well because I was a child. But I know that people were talking about interest rates being 15%. They're nowhere near that right now. So things have been worse, and we got through it. And do you know what? We'll get through this as long as we do it together. But you need to know your numbers. You need to just huddle. You need to stay where you are and just calm it and then chart a course that you've chosen. You need to talk yourself into opportunities. And remember, whether you think that you can or you think that you can't, you're right. So be very careful in which one of those you choose. SMEs are the backbone of the UK economy. So be the hero now. Be the hero of your own story, of your business. Start creating jobs for people. You can do it. We can all do this together. And then finally, don't panic, Mr. Mainwaring. Don't panic. We will get through this as long as we just stay calm and start thinking. Someone that I know very well, Crosley, he's got the saying that stressed people don't make good decisions. And that's so true, which is why I'm urging everyone to try and stay calm. Let's have a little bit of perspective. So things like if your bills have gone up by 10%, because that's inflation, weekly shop is £60. it's gone up £6. That's what, a pint and a half in your local pub, or it's some other small. We can make small adjustments to cope with this, but we just need to not panic. And I really don't want people to think I'm belittling what's going on now. I'm not. I know that it's very tough times for some people, but there's opportunities out there. There always is opportunities. So it's just where you place your focus. So that's what we've been talking about today. Don't panic, Mr. Mainwaring. The world is going on fire, but you know what? That fire will be put out, and then we'll move on. And things will be better. They will, because you know what? This has happened before. History has this knack of repeating itself. We have recessions, then we have growth. We have recessions, we have growth. And do you know what? When we have those recessions, there's money to be made. More millionaires are made during recessions than there are in times that are good. So just remember that. Right. Is there any news? Well, thankfully, we don't have any new chancellors. I feel this is like a regular segment of the show now. Do we have new chancellors? No, we don't. We have the same prime minister as well. This is good. This is what we actually need right now. I don't want to get into a political debate of whether you're blue, red, or any other color. Right now, what we need is stability, and we need to chart a path to get us through the next 6 months. That's what we need. We need stability. So it's good. There are no new tax changes. There's no new chancellors or prime ministers. Ace. From a software point of view, there are some changes that are coming through. The word on the street is that Xero will be improving their payroll facility, which is fantastic news. We are massive Xero advocates here at Carl Ford and Associates. However, I'll be honest, I do think that their payroll facility has been lacking for quite some time, which is why we use Staffology as our payroll partner. But we do believe that changes are coming through for that. There are some exciting changes that are coming through for Free Agent as well. Free Agent will be releasing a landlord-specific product, so very much looking forward to that. And I guess that's part of an announcement as well, that we've been Xero certified partners now since 2013. We have been with QuickBooks since, I'm going to say it was 2016, I believe, maybe 17. We're now affiliated with Free Agent. So we are now certified Free Agent partners, which I'm really pleased about, because as a business, we get to offer you a solution that matches your needs, because Xero is a fantastic tool. It really is, but it's not applicable to everyone. It doesn't suit everyone. Some people like QuickBooks because of the way it's structured with the way the menus look. And that's fine. That's cool. But adding Free Agent is just another tool that we've got. So that's pretty much it for the announcements that we have right now. So yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up the show. I'll be in Milan next week. So I'm either going to record this show before I fly out. I might do it when I'm there. It will be difficult because time difference and also running the two courses, but I'll see what I can do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining the show today. I need to do something that I forgot to do in the past. I would love you to hit the like button, give it the thumbs up, depends on what platform you're on. Hit the subscribe button, and if you're on YouTube, give that notification bell a little click so then you hear when we release new content. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I will see you in a week's time. That is Captain signing out.